We're going from 0 to 60 with Mulan, so let's get cracking! Hello all my explorers and welcome back to Loren's Adventures Out There. And if you are new, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. My name is Loren and I'm with Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. We do unboxings and hauls, pins, box swaps, Disney news, Disney reviews, and more. So if that sounds fun to you, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. So we are continuing our series from 0 to 60, in which we look at the films of the Walt Disney Animation Studios in chronological order. We started with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and we are headed to Encanto, which is the 60th film. And today, we will be discussing another one of my favorites, 1998's Mulan. Now, Mulan takes place in ancient China, and Fa Mulan is the daughter of Fa Zhu, who is a warrior in the Imperial Army. Well, they need help to defeat the Huns, who have invaded the country. And they are asking for one male from every family. And so Fa Zhu is going to go, but he's aged. So Mulan is concerned about this. She cuts her hair and she joins the army as a man. The big thing of note for this film is that this was the first film that was primarily produced at Disney MGM Studios at was called Walt Disney Animation Studios, Florida. The studio was originally opened to create cartoon shorts and featurettes that people could watch while they were visiting Disney MGM Studios. When they started farming out work from Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, and such, it became apparent that they could do a full feature-length film, and they started with this one at Disney MGM. It was around this time that Disney wanted to do an Asian-themed film, and they had actually optioned books from Robert Sansuki, who was a children's book author, and he had written several books based on folklore from around the world. At the same time, they were developing a straight-to-video film called China Doll, which was about a miserable girl. She was oppressed by her family and rescued by a British prince and whisked off to Europe for happiness. And there were so many things wrong with that. I'm glad that they ultimately decided to go with Mulan. Sansuki was developing a book that was based on the legend of Fa Mulan. And the China Doll, first of all, the title, very offensive, I think. Then you've got the whole idea of a white rescuer. And it's just, a lot of things wrong with that. So anyway, they went with the legend of Fa Mulan. Barry Cook and Tony Bancroft were assigned to direct the film. They picked a production team to get ready to go to China. They were invited to China to study the history, the people, more about the whole legend of Fa Mulan. They went to Beijing. They went to Datong, Luoyang, Shan, Jiayuguan, Donghuang, and Guilin. And I apologize if I mispronounced any of those names. The story was originally going to be like a Tootsie-like comedy where Mulan was a tomboy who was set in a arranged marriage with Shang, who she had not met. Fazu, her father, carves her destiny on a stone tablet at the family temple, and she gets angry and she runs away. Well, Chris Sanders was brought in to be on the storyboard team, and he did not like this romantic comedy aspect. So he went to a producer, Pam Coates, and said, let's be a little bit more faithful about this, and let's have it be about she did this because of the love of her father and joined the Imperial Army to help defeat the Huns. And so that's when they decided to go back to the original story, and I think they really did themselves a service to do that. In the movie, they wanted to give Mulan a animal companion, and it was Roy E. Disney who suggested that they create a little dragon creature named Mushu. And then they also developed a cricket character named Cricky. And the only thing was that the directors didn't like him. They didn't want him in the film, and there were only a few people that wanted him, including Michael Eisner. And basically, he was shoehorned into the movie. So the casting went out, and they went to find different Asian actors to fill the role. Tia Carrere was one of the first candidates for Mulan. And then they also tested Lea Salonga. You know, she was the singing voice of Jasmine, and they loved her singing voice, but they didn't like her voice when she tried to speak deeper. And around that time, Hollywood had released a movie, and it was actually a Disney movie under Hollywood Pictures. They released a movie called The Joy Luck Club. And Ming-Na Wen she's basically the main character of that movie, even though it is an ensemble film. And in the first part of the movie, she does this narration of a poem. And when the filmmakers heard her do that poem, they said, that's it, that's our Mulan. And they went to hire Ming-Na Wen, who is now a Disney legend. For the role of Mushu, they wanted to have like kind of an over-the-top actor who could improv. They wanted, somebody like a Robin Williams in Aladdin. And they actually approached Joe Pesci and Richard Dreyfuss. But Michael Eisner wanted Eddie Murphy. And so they approached Eddie Murphy, and he was just kind of like, he didn't want to go into the studio to record his lines. So they actually had him record his lines in his basement in his home in New Jersey. And then in the speaking role of Li Shang, B.D. Wong was hired, but his singing voice went to Donny Osmond. Donny Osmond wanted to be the voice of Hercules. And so anyway, they decided to go with Donny Osmond for the singing voice. And Donny Osmond actually watched a lot of B.D. Wong to try to get his inflections and things like that. So when he sang his song, it actually sounded like B.D. Wong was singing. I thought that was really cool. They really tried to use that watercolor look and feel that the ancient Chinese drawings looked like. The film also used different software to handle crowd scenes like the Han soldiers attacking from the mountain, as well as the people in the Forbidden City at the end of the film. And it just showed how much computer animation was having an impact at Walt Disney Animation Studios at the time. For the music, they wanted to go with Stephen Schwartz again, who had done the songs for Pocahontas and Hunchback of Notre Dame. But Jeffrey Katzenberg, who now was with DreamWorks, he asked him to compose songs for The Prince of Egypt. And Stephen Schwartz had agreed to do that. Now, there was a lot of anger, and Peter Schumacher, who was the president of Walt Disney Animation Studios at the time, said that he was going to have his name removed from the music of Pocahontas and Hunchback if he didn't, come back to this film. And Michael Eisner actually phoned him directly and asked him to not work on the DreamWorks film, but Schwartz went ahead and did it. And I respect him for that. I mean, there shouldn't be that kind of pettiness, but of course there's the whole drama behind Jeffrey Katzenberg and Michael Eisner, the big falling out between the two of them. So I can understand Disney's point of view, but I respect Stephen Schwartz for going ahead and doing the music for The Prince of Egypt, which actually has a wonderful soundtrack to it. They decided to go with Matthew Wilder and David Zippel to write the lyrics. And then they went with Jerry Goldsmith for the score. Now, originally they wanted Rachel Portman, who did the score for the Joy Luck Club. I would have loved to have heard her music in that, because her music is beautiful in the Joy Luck Club. But she had gotten pregnant and just couldn't work on the film. Because of the disappointing box offices of Hunchback and Hercules, Disney decided to cut back on its promotional advertisements for Mulan, basically cutting it back in half from what Hercules had. Instead of having a big event, they went with a premiere at the Hollywood Bowl. And also, there was a McDonald's promotion with Happy Meal toys, and interestingly enough, they had the Szechuan sauce for Chicken McNuggets as part of the promotion. Now, people will remember that they brought back that Szechuan sauce, and they were saying that it was a reference to Rick and Morty, but it was actually a callback to the Szechuan sauce that was released with Mulan. So I think that was very interesting. The box office did well. It came in second after the X-Files, but unfortunately, it just showed that the Disney Studios was weakening toward the end of the Renaissance. The films were not doing as well as Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and The Lion King. And The Lion King was super huge, and then it just kind of started trickling down, even though we love all of these films. Critically, though, it was very well received. People like the story and the themes, and also the animation, and I agree with all of that. Anyway, I love Mulan. I just think that it's such a great film. I think that I love the way that they were inspired by Chinese artwork in their layouts and animation. It just looks so beautiful. The music I love. I just wish that there was more music. And more that was sung by Lea Salonga. She had one song and she was gone. And it doesn't make any sense to me. She's a Broadway legend. Why not use her some more? I thought that that was a giant missed opportunity to not have more singing for Lea Salonga. I love Ming-Na Wen. I'm a big Ming-Na Wen fan. I've been a big Ming-Na Wen fan since the Joy Luck Club. You know, I just love listening to her voice. I honestly think that she is perfect. When I heard that they were inspired by her reading the poem at the beginning of the Joy Luck Club, I was like, yes, yes, and yes. Yeah, so I think that it's a great film. What did you think of the film? Let me know in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I'd love to know. Otherwise, if you had fun, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notification, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. Visit us on all of our socials down below. Visit our website at www.castlescapesandclones.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Bye!